Hey, 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 everyone. Welcome to our weekly wellness education series. My name is Stephanie Hilgendorf, your Diamond Wellness Advocate, and today we are all about holiday gift giving. We have a lot of products, probably. We have a lot of essential oils. What do we do with them as far as gifts for other people? How can we use what we have in our stock and make DIY some things or buy like kind of things to look at as far as buying? Um, but first, I wanted to just remind you that our product of the month this month, so our free product is a 5 milliliter bottle of Adaptive with a really cute clay ornament wreath. Um, and you can use it as a like a diffuser ornament. You put on your tree. It's so fun because every December, this is our product of the month. We usually have some sort of ornament with an oil, and it's great. I have my doTERRA tree that has all of my different ones from the past. And then this month, 200 product promotion. So if you order 200 PV worth of product, anytime this month, you can get a free frankincense oil. King of all oils, it is the best. They brought it to baby Jesus. That's why there's a reason why they brought it to baby Jesus. It's amazing. When in doubt, frank it out. Everything frankincense. If you don't know what to use frankincense. It's a great essential oil. So those are the promotions for this month. We still have some holiday products in stock. A lot of things are sold out. Our Holiday Joy, Holiday Peace, all the vanilla things. The Winterberry, Yule Log, those are all sold out. But there are still a few things. So, like the On Guard hand soap is still available. That really cute oil or owl oil diffuser is still available. And also there's the trio of like there's the Amazon Escape, the Escape series. So the Amazon Coastal and Vineyard Escape oils in a little 3 pack are still available as well. Oh, and the wassail, however you want to say it, is available for purchase now. So you can go on and jump on and get that. So here we go. We are going to put like a little, now just kind of a caveat. The recipes that I'm giving you here, I stole off of different people's websites. So it's not my personal things. I did switch it up because they were using other essential oils. Um, I I changed it because other essential oils, they're not as potent as our doTERRA oil. So they were saying like use 40 or 50 drops of this oil. And I'm like, I think 10 would be great because ours are so potent and pure. So I did change that up a little bit. But just know that this is not something that I created. I kind of like piecemealed it from a bunch of different ideas that I've seen in the past. So here we go. First thing that you can do if you would like, this is kind of a DIY, bath bombs. Super fun. Bath bombs are great. They're a little bit, you have to get the right kind of mold, and sometimes working with citric acid can be a little because it starts to bubble ahead of time. So this one kind of takes a few rounds to kind of get it. But they're fun. They're fun, really fun gifts. So when we have, let me go ahead and minimize my face over there. Okay, so these are the different ingredients that you're going to need. So, and I will send you this document, but just know it's not mine that I created. I kind of like piecemeal it from other people. So, this is just one example of a recipe. So, you need hard plastic or metal molds, which is like, the two halves of the bath bomb. This one calls for witch hazel and a misting spray bottle. I think that's kind of help keep it from sticking to the side of the mold, but you'll need 2 cups of citric acid, 4 cups of baking soda, and then the sweet almond oil is kind of a binder as well. You could replace that with fractionated coconut oil, but then just 5 drops of lavender, 5 drops of peppermint, 5 drops of rosemary is kind of like a little tranquil spa type of a scent. You could switch these up with everything, but really only like 10 to 15 drops of whatever combination of oil that you would want to use. So you're going to combine the citric acid and baking soda. So those are all dry ingredients. You're then going to put in the sweet almond oil and the essential oils in there. You're going to mix it all using, I mean, you could start with a spoon, but like having hands, like using it, that's going to help pack it in the mold. So you're going to spritz a small amount of the witch hazel on top of the powder mix to stir it in, and you're going to repeat that process until the mixture packs together easily with a similar texture to wet sand. Scoop the mixture into each mold one at a time, pack them tightly, and allow them to dry for at least overnight. You're going to want to store them in an airtight container. You can put them in like a cellophane wrap. You can use a little ribbon and labels and make a little special touch for gift giving. So that's bath bombs. Those are a lot of fun if you can get that to work. My first time was kind of a disaster, but the more you practice or the more you try, the better this one gets. So the next one is candle making. Now this one you'll have to get some supplies. They have like candle making kits on Amazon. This one calls for soy wax flakes. I've used beeswax. Beeswax tends to be a little bit more of a clean burn. But then the beeswax doesn't hold on to the scent as well. So what I've done before is I've taken the beeswax and then I've also mixed in a little bit of the cooking coconut oil, like the hard coconut oil when I'm melting it down. And that tends to hold on to the scents of the essential oils better. And you'll have to use more essential oils in the beeswax candle. But if you have somebody that's like wanting a very clean burn, beeswax is usually the way to go. So you'll need a candle wick with a metal base. Basically, the metal base will stick to the bottom, and you can put a little sticker on the bottom to leave the bottom of the candle wick in the bottom of the jar, whatever jar, your 8-ounce heat safe container. It could be a mason jar, it could be a glass jar from like the dollar store, or wherever you find your glass jars. If you find a really cute ceramic jar that you want to make a candle out of, you could do that as well. A skewer or a chopstick and a clothespin, and that is going to help when we'll go over it in a second, but when you're trying to get the wick to stay straight up, while the wax is resolidifying. Then a cooking thermometer. I've hit or miss with the cooking thermometer, but if you have one, that would be great. And then this is just one little recipe, but you could use whatever blend of essential oils you want. This one has cedarwood, spearmint, Siberian fir, and wintergreen. I went a little heavier on the oils with this one just to make sure that scent was staying in there using the beeswax. So you're going to mix essential oils in a bowl, set aside. You could put them into another dropper bottle as well, however you want to mix those together. So you're going to add the wax to a double boiler and heat until fully melted. Stirring will help speed the process. So in the kit that I have, it's got like this, like a pouring, like a stainless steel small pouring container. And then I just had a stock pot with the water in it that I would boil, and then I would put the other jar inside, double boiler, right? So you're going to turn off the heat at 185 degrees, add the essential oils to that little mixture, stir for another 2 minutes, and then remove the heat. You don't want to add the essential oils until the wax temperature is below 185 degrees. Anything higher, it's going to burn off. That's the smoke point for the different essential oils. So while this is kind of like, you could do this next part prepping prior to doing all of the heating. You're going to put the metal end of the wick to the bottom of the container using a wick tab sticker, a little glue, or just something to help stick it down there. Press the end to the center of the bottom of the container. If you want to have like a bigger one, you could have 3 wicks in it, just depending on how you want to do that. You're going to straighten the wick and secure it with a clothespin resting on the top, right? So you're going to have the wick come up and you're going to have the clothespin to keep the wick right in the center. Some of these kits that you can buy on Amazon have like a special tool that sits over the top of a container, and you can actually stick the wick up through, so that way you can see like that it just kind of sits right there, like right up the center. So once the wax cools to about 135 degrees, so it's still liquid, but a little bit cooler, you're going to slowly pour the wax into the container. And then you're going to let the candle sit there for about 24 hours until it's fully set. And once it's set, you're going to remove the clothespin, trim the wick to about a 1/2 inch above the surface of the wax. So this one takes a little bit longer to do. You can make smaller containers and do several of them all at once, make a bigger batch, and just so this one, play around with it as well. But I've had a lot of people ask me about making candles. So there you go. There's a recipe. Lip balm. I have not done this one, but I have a lot of friends that love making their own lip balm. So it's always useful, it's always needed. Now, and even because the vanilla lip balm just sold out a couple of days ago, this will be a nice one. You can add the vanilla, the Madagascar vanilla into it. So you're going to take some of those, if you have the leftover beeswax pearls from your candle, you can take about a quarter cup of the beeswax pearls, add some sweet almond oil and a tablespoon of the jojoba oil. And then if you want one of those like plumping lip, you can do peppermint. Any scent or flavor that you want in your lip balm, you can do it. So you're just going to add the beeswax, almond oil, jojoba into a double boiler, heat it until the beeswax is completely melted, stirring throughout. You're going to remove it from the heat, stir in the essential oils, and you're going to pour the mixture into the containers. There, you can buy them on Amazon. I've seen them at Whole Foods. And then you're going to allow them to cool and harden for a few hours. So you can also, if you wanted to add a card with a decorative label with the ingredients, you can do that too. This one is always a crowd favorite, a deep sleep linen spray. Now, you could have this as a deep sleep linen spray. You could do it as a refresher spray for your household, on the couch, just kind of like an air spray. You could also do it in your bathroom as a bathroom spray as well. So this could be used for anything. You just change up the oils based on what you're using it for. So you just get a glass bottle with a spray top. You're going to get high percentage alcohol. The nice thing about the alcohol is that it makes whatever you end up spraying it on evaporate. So if you use water, which I've used before as water, you have to shake it beforehand and you have to, it might leave a little bit of a residue on it. And then witch hazel, which also helps it with mixing everything else, getting all of the oils to mix together. And then this particular recipe has lavender, clary sage, chamomile, and bergamot. And so you're going to add the alcohol and essential oils into the bottle, and then fill the remainder of the bottle with witch hazel and leaving a little space at the top. Shake well before each use and spray on linens, help the body to relax or spray it in your room. So this one's a nice one to have on hand for sure. Um, oh, thanks, Carrie, for asking. Should you take screenshots of the recipes? Yes, thank you. Thank you, Kimberly. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and send this out. But again, just as an FYI, these are not all my recipes. I just kind of piecemealed them from different fun recipes that I've found in the past online. Okay, this is another one that is fantastic because a few years ago, doTERRA had beard oils that are great. My husband uses it for his hair. You can use it for like an aftershave lotion. You can use it as a beard oil. It's great. So now we have our own little recipe that we can put whatever oils we want in there. You just get that same amber glass bottle with a dropper on it instead, sweet almond oil and jojoba oil. And then this one called for rosemary, cedarwood, and tea tree. You could use our Northern Escape oil or balance oil or adaptive oil, whatever you feel like you want to add to that. I just, anything from like 6 to 10 drops of whatever oil you want into that 2-ounce bottle. And then, any of these, you start off lower, and then if you don't feel like it's potent enough, you can always add more. I always like to start less and add more instead of having too much the other way. So you're just going to add all of the ingredients into a bottle and give it a good shake to combine it. And that's pretty much it. So this one's really, really simple. You can do a decorative label on if you want. You can buy labels on Amazon. Some of the different essential oil supply places have some really cute labels too. And then to use it, you're just going to put a few or a few drops on your hands and rub it throughout the beard or on your hair. I've used it on my hair before, especially with the curls. Something like this is really good to help nourish and moisturize the hair. Play-Doh. How many of you have little ones in your life? So much fun. So this one's really, really easy to use as well. And again, you can use whatever essential oils you want to it. This one I think has lavender, but you can use balance, orange, whatever you want, whatever kind of oils you want to use to scent them. So you're just going to use flour, salt, cream of tartar, and water. And then you'll have some fractionated coconut oil. If you want food coloring of your choice, they make some dry powdered food coloring that is non-toxic, and then 10 drops of the essential oil of your choice. So you're going to add the flour, salt, and cream of tartar to a small pot in your saucepan, add the water and coconut oil, stir it well, put it on low heat, continue stirring, and then stir in the desired amount of food coloring, and then you're basically going to wait till the Play-Doh fully thickens, and then you're going to remove it and you're going to poke a few holes in it, and you're going to put the essential oils in there, and you're just going to knead it, just kind of like you would regular bread dough. So Play-Doh is a great way, and this is a nice fun thing. If you have grandkids or nieces or nephews, this is a great little like craft and fun thing that you can do with them. And then this is kind of fun. I'm going to actually try this one. Do you remember back in the day, about 5, 6 years ago, when we had to make our own foaming hand soap because doTERRA's was no longer in stock because the world was falling apart and we had to make our own foaming hand wash? This is one of the recipes that I've used. I It's great. It's great. And you can add whatever scent. So if you want to change the smell of your hand soap based on the season, something spring like citrus bloom for the springtime, or, harvest spice or holiday joy for the holiday season, or candy cane foaming hand soap. So you're just going to get that, the doTERRA 16-ounce foaming soap dispenser. You're going to take three quarters of a cup unscented Castile soap, distilled water, sweet almond oil, and the glycerin are going to help with the moisturizer, keeping it moisturized, and then also the foaming aspect of it. And then this recipe calls for peppermint, 8 drops of wild orange essential oil, and then you can use 5 drops of cinnamon or cassia, and then 3 drops of spearmint. So this is a great kind of like minty, orangey, cinnamony kind of mix. So I thought this one was kind of fun, but you can change it up. You can just put straight holiday joy, holiday peace in there, harvest spice, whatever you want as far as your scenting of it. So you can add all of the ingredients into the foaming soap dispenser, put the top on, shake it up, you're good to go. So, and then we have this one is another one of my absolute favorite options. Reed diffusers are really in right now. They're very popular ways to diffuse essential oils. A lot of people are loving it. You find a really cute jar or a glass bottle. You can get diffuser reeds or bamboo skewers. That's another way to do it. You're gonna, so a quarter to a half a cup of a diffuser base. So this could be fractionated coconut oil, sweet almond oil, any of those oils as the base of what is going to go in that jar. Twine ribbon if you want to decorate it up really cute. And you're going to put about 10 drops of essential oil per, I was supposed to be half cup of diffuser base. So anywhere, I usually won't do over like 15 to 20 drops for a full cup of, depending on how strong you want it, right? So 10 drops of the essential oil, 5 drops of the essential oil. The candy cane blend that it has is the 5 drops of peppermint, 3 drops of cinnamon or cassia, 2 drops of wild orange. Or you could just use straight peppermint, or you could just use peppermint wild orange, whatever the combo is that you want. So for about a half a cup, I would do about 8 to 10 drops of the essential oils combination. You're going to put the twine ribbon around the neck of your jar and make it look really cute. You can use a mason jar. And then to use it, you're going to fill the jar about halfway up with the diffuser base. So like, let's say the coconut oil. And then you're going to add the blend of oils into it and stir it until it's combined. You're going to snip off the sharp ends of the bamboo skewers, place them in the jar, and after about an hour or so, you're going to flip them over. And then it's just going to automatically diffuse it into your space. So you'll flip the reeds every few days to keep the aroma going, and then just fill it up as necessary. Great for a bathroom, great for like a passive diffuser in your entryway, something like that. Now, here's a couple of fun ones. Diffuser ornaments. So I've got 2 different options here. You've got felt that you can make really, really, really cute, but really anything that goes on a tree, anything that's like a wood, you can put essential oils on. I've got a few different things. We have these little plush,
Any other questions?
anything with fabric or clay or wood is a great diffuser for a Christmas tree. So this one is felt. So you're just going to get felt for you can go just buy felt. You can use it a hole punch. You can do a like cookie cutter. But basically cut them into holiday shapes, about 4 to 6 inches. You can use the fabric marker to add details on it, a punch hole at the top of each ornament, and then you can use yarn or big string to go at the top. But then also you can like decorate it and, make little like, these little stitch things around it. Just decorate them however you want. And then you're going to get a bottle of your loved one's favorite essential oil or blend, and you're going to just gift it, the ornament with the oil on it. And then they just need to put a few drops of essential oils on the felt and then hang it on their tree. This is great to have like Siberian fir or, balsam fir or black spruce or Siberian, any of the ones that will make it smell like a Christmas tree. If it's a fake tree, that's a really great option there. So this is just a nice little felt diffuser oil ornament. Then this one is kind of like a clay, like making your own Christmas ornament. So this one is baking soda, cornstarch with water, and then you have cookie cutter and like, the stamps and thin ribbon. And then you can take about 5 to 10 to 15 drops of essential or holiday joy. You can put glitter or food color. So you're going to put the baking soda, cornstarch, and water into a pot over medium heat, stir it well. You're going to continuously stir until it comes to a boil. Then once it thickens, it begins to pull away from the sides of the pan, remove from the heat and stir in the essential oils. And then if you're spicing up the ornament with glitter or food coloring, you're going to do that now. And then roll the dough into 1/4 inch thickness. And then you're going to use the cookie cutters and stamps to get creative and make as many as you can. You're going to use a straw to poke a hole through the top to create a spot for the women. And then you're going to separate them carefully with a spatula and allow them to dry for at least a day. And then finish by tying a ribbon through the hole. So that's putting the oil in it ahead of time. But then because of the make of it, the cornstarch and baking soda, you can give them a bottle of the essential oil so they can keep applying it once that scent has dissipated. So a couple of different options for scented ornaments. And then last but certainly not least, we have a clay diffuser necklace. So, this one is fairly simple too because you just buy pre-made air dry clay. You get cookie cutters, the size or the shape that you want the pendant to be, a straw to make sure you have the hole in it, cording for the jewelry, wax paper because you want to make sure it's on wax paper so it doesn't get stuck, and then a bottle of your loved one's favorite essential oil. And then you're going to on a surface with wax paper, you're going to roll out the clay till it's about 1/4 inch thick. You're going to, cookie cutter out everything that you want. And then you're going to use the straw to create a hole at the top of the pendant for the cording to go through. And then you're going to use a rubber stamp to imprint a design or however you want to use the skewer to make little designs on it. Totally up to you how you want to decorate it. Use your craftiness. And then you're going to allow it to dry overnight. And then you're going to cut the desired length of cording, tie it in a knot, and then gift wrap the necklace with a bottle of essential oil. And then you can just put a little card on how to use it. Just put a few drops of essential oil on the pendant, allow it to air dry, and reapply as needed. So those are some of my favorite ways to utilize essential oils into gift making. So I didn't look at the comments. Is there any more comments? Nope, doesn't look like it. Any other questions? Carrie, it's so good to see you. Any questions on any of those things? Perfect. So much fun. I just know that we all have so much essential oils. Why don't we use them in our gift giving and gift making, right? So we'll probably, let's see, let me look at the calendar just to see what our schedule is for the next couple weeks. We're probably going to have the week of Christmas and the week of New Year's off. So we will probably have class next week. And then the 27th and the 3rd, we will have off, but then we'll start up again on the 10th of January. Okay. All right. If you have any questions, just go ahead and either throw them in the comments if you're watching this as a replay on YouTube, and I will respond back. Hope you guys have a great day.